Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns on the quick on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the late night. Rough way to go today. We saw some good things. We saw some bad things. Saw some of the same, some different. But ultimately, we gave up the ghost. Ultimately, we had the opportunity to secure the win. And let me go as far as to say, even the last play, the Hail Mary, if we don't have two bodies literally in the same space, one of those two guys comes up with that catch. It's my opinion that if Devontae Smith wasn't there, A.J. Brown would have come up with that catch because A.J. Brown was a little bit higher. And they were both, trying to go for the ball. It's a jump ball. Basically, is you get what you get. But oh my God, even to that extent, we still had an opportunity to win the game. We just couldn't take advantage of it, and we just could not keep a steady rhythm going. It was always something that crushed us. I don't know if you guys saw my my thumbnail. I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose. Let me show y'all this. Heck, if I can. I don't even know if I can. Second screen. There we go. Yeah. PhillyEagles.exe execution error. The play execution cannot proceed because the 0.ff3nce offense.exe was not found. Penalty error sum greater. Penalty error sum value greater than 0. Penalties killed us. But basically, that was a execution error by the players. Whether you liked how Kevin Patullo called this game or not, he called the game good enough to win. Every time we had a decent play, a good play, splash plays, we screwed it up with a penalty. And let me be honest with you. Yes, A.J. Brown slowed up on that deep route. The problem was that was a double move. There was almost 5 seconds that elapsed by the time the ball was in the air. So when he turns around, he finds the ball, realizes the ball is coming his way, and he tries to speed up. By that time, Jalen had a little bit too much mustard on it and fell flat. I was more upset with the route by Dallas Goedert because that was the same thing. And just, I don't know, man. I don't know how you could not understand or see that's coming, or like I said, that was a double route. That was a double move. He got pushed, like guy got hands on him. He still broke free. And let me be honest with you, if I'd have turned around with that much time having elapsed, I wouldn't have thought the ball was coming my way either. I would have thought Jalen had either thrown it or he was scrambling. But when you turn around and you look and you're trying to find the ball and see what's going on. So, yes, I can understand don't give up on the route, but I can also understand that was a long time coming. That was a long time to be in a pass pattern and then turn around and see the ball and you're like, oh, shit, it's coming. So, but no excuses. And to be honest with you, if he still would have been running, he still would have had to leave his feet to get that ball. So, but I'm not going to hang my hat on that play. Not at all. Um, Jalen had a couple of routes. There was a throw to the end zone that was, I believe, Devontae Smith would have had a shot in the back corner of the end zone, the back left corner of the end zone, um, on the side where we come out of the tunnels. If that ball would have been a little bit lower, Devontae would have had a chance at it. But just wasn't a good ball. He was under pressure. You know what I mean? So, um, but for me, for the most part, we had opportunities to win the game, and we couldn't because we always made mistakes. We always had a penalty. It was something. It was offsides. It was we not set. It was illegal man downfield, holding. Um, it was always something. The play to Devontae Smith was a killer. That was a drive killer because that was at least 3 points, at least. If not, we may have scored on that one. Who knows? But we didn't get the opportunity because we shot ourselves in the foot. We Eagles coaches should have walked into the press conference with crutches because they shot themselves in the foot that much. So I don't want to hear how bad Patullo was. I know we didn't run the ball but 9 times. But if we complete those passes, and to me, you can summarize the game in those 3 plays. The Dallas Goddard, where he kind of gave up on the route. The AJ Brown, where he kind of gave up on the route, and then the Devontae Smith, where we got the penalty. If those 3 plays hit and or stick, the conversation is different, and the conversation would be different, even though we only had 9 runs. So I look at Saquon, I look at his touches. Yes, we need to run the ball more, but he was effective with his touches. They finally got the matchup that they wanted with him against Singleton, and he ran by him. That is why you have the matchups. That's the chess game, and we won that battle on that play. And what you're trying to do is get more just like that one. That is the matchup you're trying to look for. You're trying to get those mismatches to where you can get somebody like Alex Singleton on Saquon Barkley. That's a no-brainer. He can't hang. He can't run with him. Alex Singleton cannot run with Saquon Barkley. Full stop. And Jalen called the right number, and he put enough touch on the ball, and that ended up being a splash play and a huge. We scored on that. So it's it's a shame we had to go down like that. But I am not, and I see people. I was on I was on I was on Discord earlier. I was on Twitter. I even saw some stuff on Facebook, and everybody's trying to throw it on Kevin Patullo. Um, and I'm sorry, I don't necessarily agree with. I saw Acho's clip, and sometimes Acho gets annoying. Um, and the funny thing is, I don't necessarily disagree. I just don't think that his play calling was the reason why we lost. We lost because we shot ourselves in the foot at the most inopportune times during that game. That's why we lost. It wasn't because Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo called a good game. I can gripe and nitpick that we didn't run the ball enough. I wish we would have, when we had a lead, we should have been running the ball more, but we didn't. But we were still moving the ball, and we were still making some things happen, and we were still had opportunities to close the game out. Every time we had an opportunity to extend the lead, we shot ourselves in the foot. That's pretty much it. We shot ourselves in the foot. And The way this game is going, I'm watching this right now. New England might mess around and beat Buffalo. We'll see. But in any case, um, yeah, Q. He wasn't he Patullo wasn't the issue, man. Patullo was not the issue. And I don't want anybody. I mean, you got your own opinion, but nah, nah. So uh yeah. Chris, I'll drop the link in a minute. Um yeah, it's there's some things that we gotta come to grips with. There's some realities that we need to address. In this game specifically, like I just said, penalties killed us. Penalties killed us. And we're talking about penalties like the lining up off sides, the not being the illegal man downfield. We had a couple of drive killers, but the penalties killed us. Um, when they get that 2 point conversion, um, yeah, it looks like we might as well go ahead and flip the script back on Keely Ringo. He's back in the same doghouse he was before. It's just he's good, not great, and I don't even think he's good enough. We need to have somebody else in there. We just don't have anybody else that we can put in there. So we get what we get. I'm not crazy about the 9 total runs by the running backs, but that's not why we lost. However, I will concede the fact that Kevin Patullo's lack of experience calling an offense is showing. And for the first time, it cost us a win. We managed to get ourselves out of it, but this time it hurt us. 2 of 11 for third downs, converting third downs. 2 of 11. Um, Another reality we gotta face. Landon Dickerson's injury is a problem. Landon Dickerson not in that game hurts us on the offensive line. Brett Toth is not good. He's just a guy. And every time we get him in there, after a measure of time, we get exposed. He's the same, and he's in the same situation, in my opinion, than Keely Ringo is. And again, y'all know, if y'all been rocking with me for a while, y'all know I am a Keely Ringo fan. I was pulling for that kid to step in there and take that job over. It just has not manifested the way we thought it would, or at least I thought it would. And we got to get a better answer than that. Brett Toth is in the same boat. When Landon Dickerson is not in the game, it's a problem. It's a problem. So Brett Toth is not the answer. And anybody, like, it seems to me now that when we play whoever we're playing, they're looking at that weak point and they're attacking that weak point. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Just as like if there was a period of time where it looked like they were picking on Keely Ringo. You're damn right. You're damn right. If that's the weakness, if that's the chink in the armor, you go after him. You put it on him until he proves he can stop it. So yeah, N'Kobe Dean will play Thursday. N'Kobe Dean will play Thursday. And that should help on the run game because we needed help. And finally, this is the last realism we got to get to, and then I'll drop the links. We have to come to grips with the fact that our offensive line is not the best in the league anymore. We're not the best in the business, even with Stoutland. We've kind of lost some of the luster when it comes to that. Now, Jeff Stoutland, in my opinion, is still the best offensive line coach in the league. Point, period, end of paragraph, full stop. However, comma, this collection of offensive linemen is not getting it done. Not getting it done. Lane Johnson was in. I never heard his name today. That means you are doing a good job. If you never hear an offensive lineman's name, that means he's handling business. And whose name did we hear today? Brett Toth. You didn't hear Tyler Steen. At least I didn't. You didn't hear Cam Jurgens. You didn't hear Mailata. At least I didn't. That means they're doing their job. They're not holding. There's no penalties. There's no, usually when you hear about an offensive lineman, they either got a holding penalty or they gave up a sack. Angie, they called a sack on Jalen. That's a good question, actually. They called a sack on Jalen because he did not get past the line of scrimmage. So when you scramble and you don't get past the line of scrimmage, the last person that touched you or the closest person to you usually gets the sack on defense. So the guy kind of pushed him out of bounds. So he gets credited for the sack because technically it was a negative 1 yard gain. So that's a sack behind the line of scrimmage on the quarterback. That's why it's a technicality, but they got a call. So we'll have to get a healthy O-line. Jalen Carter is hurt. Jalen Carter is dealing with that shoulder. Don't forget. Don't forget. I don't remember hearing his name much today. I don't think Jalen Carter is healthy. I think he's grinning and bearing it. So if I'm with you, I think I don't want to say a good game because there were definitely some egregious errors by Kevin Patullo. However, he was not the reason we lost that game. My only nitpick today was that he didn't run the ball enough. But we threw the ball well. Everybody got involved. Everybody got touches. And again, for as many people that are coming for Kevin Patullo's head and all of that type of stuff, if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot when we make them big plays, different conversation. Much bit different conversation. Steen got called for a hold. Yeah. I don't remember. I must have missed that when I stepped out. But for the most part, he had a decent game. You know. So here's the thing. 4-1. Let's take a deep breath and really look at the macro. We're 4-1. We had opportunities. As bad as we say this is, we still had opportunities to win the game at the very end. So defense is playing stellar. I know they had they got kind of porous towards the end of the game, but guess what? You can't ask your defense to continue to come up with stop after stop after stop. Eventually, the other team gets paid too. Eventually, the other team is going to get a break. They're going to get a series where they're going to have a long drive and maybe score. And so it is very difficult to stop the other team all the time. There's got to be chinks in the armor at some point in time. And the defense just kind of gave up the ghost when, we got to that point. And by that time, I thought the defense was low gas because we couldn't keep the offense on the field. So that's how that goes. Jordan Davis was quiet today, Q. He was quiet today. I agree. New England's on top of Buffalo. I'm about to lose that pick too. The way we're going to be limping to the bye week, bro. We are going to be limping to the bye week. Man. All right, let me throw this link up. Remember, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. If you don't want to be on camera, turn your camera off. We can still hear you. So click on the link. It'll bring you backstage if you want to talk on camera, or if you just want the audio, and I can bring you on stage, and then you can give said opinion. Buffalo ain't losing this game. It's 20-10 with 10 minutes left in the fourth, and the Patriots are playing tough. So we'll see. So we'll see. So, what's up, Chris?
What's happening with it, Coach?
It was a rough one, but it is what it is. That's why you play the game, bro. What you think?
Yeah. Oh man, I got some thoughts. I think first and foremost, you always got to give respect to the opponent in the sense that Denver team is no slouch. So
Nope. Number one defense in the league.
right, and even offensively, they got some. They got a few guys that can play. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if within their division at the end of the year, they kind of in the mix.
What's up, Danny? I'll get to you in a sec.
We got a cowboy up in here. Oh man. But
It's all
anyways,
good.
it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, just my initial thoughts. I mean, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that team is in the mix late in the year to be contending in their division, or at least even in the playoffs for sure. So, gotta always take into account what you're going against. First point, because I know this is gonna be the popular thing all week. AJ, first of all, on the route, you said something that was true. I think people forget sometimes there's a human element to the game that people don't be realized. I'm not agreeing about him slowing up necessarily, but you got to think when these guys are in. I'm gonna liken it because you cover a lot of WNBA. If you're running a play in practice, you understand that there's a 35-second shot clock or 30-second shot clock, and you're typically going through options. And if by a certain point in the play, you don't have the ball in a certain area, most players are going to kind of be like, well, it's probably not coming my way because we're getting late in the shot clock. So AJ is probably thinking, I beat this dude on a double move. Ball ain't coming. It's probably going elsewhere. I'm not agreeing with him slowing up, but the human element of it is like, you can kind of see where it's like the ball probably wasn't coming my way. It was a long time before he broke. From the time the ball snapped to the throw, that was a long time in the pocket. It wasn't a quick.
He made two moves too.
Yeah, he made
that was
two
a double
moves.
move.
Double
that was
move.
a long time. That was a long
time. It wasn't bang bang like snap to the time he got open. It wasn't that. Jalen was in the pocket for a minute looking around.
Yeah, the clock.
Yeah,
it was good protection.
Exactly.
But at that point, I'm thinking Jalen's either bailing out.
Exactly.
But it went down the way it went down.
Yeah, it did. It did.
In my opinion, even if he hadn't stopped, for him to have caught that ball, in my opinion, he would have had to leave his feet.
Good chance. I mean, if it's a good chance.
However, it would have worked out.
Yeah. So
at the end of the day, it's still an opportunity that we missed. Same way with Dallas. Yeah. I think Dallas Goedert's was more egregious than AJ Brown's was.
Yeah, Dallas had the one where he couldn't get turned around in time. So you got that aspect. But I only brought up the AJ point to start because, again, I think people, when they have a narrative and they stick with it that, certain guys are a problem or what. First of all, AJ was not the only person that was upset with the offense. He was just the one that people pointed to about being potentially vocal about. Devontae was just as frustrated.
Yeah, Devontae co-signed him.
He co-signed him.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Like I said before, when the whole thing happened with the tweet and everything,
yeah.
AJ never said anything about the passing game, yet everybody knew what he was talking.
Well, yeah, and that's my point in that when people want to create a narrative, that's what they're going to find ways to justify no matter whether it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? And so he's going to get all the blame, but he was just, if you think he was implying something about the offense, he was just being more vocal about what some guys maybe that aren't as vocal were feeling. They were feeling the same way. And Smitty went out there and had a great game today.
Yeah,
so,
we had our opportunities, man. I'm not gonna bash on Patullo today.
That's what I was just about to make that point. Me personally, the way the game was called, I didn't have a problem with Patullo really that much because even when it pertains to the run game, you said it at the end. Our offensive line ain't doing it right now. So
I think we're losing that.
Yeah,
we lost that luster about having the best offensive line in football.
Right, best offensive line and best running attack. Like, I can't be totally upset with Patullo if he's thinking like, look, I've been trying to run this ball for 4 weeks. It ain't been working. The passing game, at least through the first 3 quarters, was solid enough to get us in the 17-3 lead, which could have been 24-3 with the AJ thing. So I'm like, I'm not totally upset.
Here's the pushback on that because in the first half, Saquon was running the ball fairly. He had 6 for 30, I think.
He had the one pitch play where he got 17 off of it and they never went back to it.
Yeah, and then I think AJ Dillon had a couple good runs.
AJ Dillon did have a couple runs. I don't think Jalen had any.
When you have a lead like we had, you got to squeeze them out a little bit. You got to
To
run
us,
the ball just to keep the linebackers honest, and that's what we didn't do.
yeah, but I think too about the lead aspect. I think in today's game, a 2-possession lead ain't really that safe to it. And the way you got to think the lead and the way we've been running the ball throughout the first 4 weeks, like we ain't really been choking teams out with the run to where we can
Nah.
just be like, we can just say we got a two. Like last year with a 2-possession lead, game over. This year, the way we've been running, it's not like, you know what, it's a guaranteed thing. We just gonna run this clock out. And that's where I did bring up my issue with the defense today. A little pushback. Do I understand that? Yes, maybe they were tired in certain aspects. Yes, but even last week, Coach, we had that big lead. They gave up 2 70-yard bombs that kind of helped Tampa get back in the game. And today, in the fourth quarter, they gave up 15 points on like 200 yards of total.
Yeah,
Like,
but I can't. Nah, I disagree with that. Our defense played well enough to win, and we had opportunities where we lost drives because the offense couldn't stay on the field. The defense is not going to stop everybody all the time, and the other guys get paid too.
I wouldn't say stop, but I mean,
we had our opportunities. It's not going to happen.
That's true.
Sean Payton is no slouch.
No,
Nix is a pretty good quarterback. They got a good running back with Dobbins, so they got weapons too. And to me, the defense just can't stop everybody all the time. So it has to come to the offense, like yo, y'all got to score points. You got to make up the difference. They're doing their job. So
yeah,
it's got to go both ways. So
yeah. And then obviously,
at the end of the day, man, like I said, this was player execution with the penalties.
Yeah.
Even the thing with Zach Bond, I didn't agree with it, but I understand. I don't think if Zach Bond hadn't hit the dude with his forearm to the helmet, he probably wouldn't have got called with that. But the same time, that was a bang bang play.
It was.
But I can't blame it on the refs, man. Yes, the refs.
No.
Everybody gonna bitch about the refs, but in spite of all of that, we had legitimate opportunities to win, and we didn't take advantage of the opportunities when it came.
Yeah, so, and I definitely, I agree with you 100%. And I think the pre-snap penalties were obviously brutal.
Oh my god,
the AJ one.
When's the last time that happened?
Well, that's the one thing I will say as far as trends versus blips. Like, for example, like I am a little bit worried about Keely Ringo at that second cornerback spot. You know what I'm saying? I am worried about that. But offensively, I'm like, for all them penalties, I'm like, man, that's so, I don't want to say fluky because you got to be disciplined, but man, that just doesn't happen where you see, I think Saquon, AJ, and Devontae all had a penalty today, pre-snap. So that's where I'm like shooting yourself in the foot. I'm like, as good as that team was, I mean, they ain't good enough to make you, false start on your own. I mean, that's
they needed crutches, man.
Yeah. So with all that being said, though, like you said, you got your opportunities to try to win. I'm glad it's a short week so you can get back to it ASAP.
Yeah, man. 24 Birds, thank you for the super chat, man. AJ said he didn't see the ball. I heard that clip. I heard the interview. So when I did the same exact thing when I saw the replay, and then you realize the double move and how long it took.
Yeah,
I understood it. So I ain't gonna kill him for that.
You know the human element.
So, let me see what my man Danny's Dallas is talking about. What's going on, dude? Holla at me. You muted. Uh-oh. Nah, you still muted, dude. We ain't got you. All right, he'll come back in. So much for that.
So much, yeah. I guess it was meant to be. We weren't supposed to have a cowboy up here, and I was just playing. But yeah,
I'll talk with anybody. But we got. I'm trying to think.
Nah.
I had a. Let me see something real quick. Screen. I'm getting used to my vertical monitor over here.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's dope.
This is new. I was trying to look at Dobbins was killing us today
in the run game.
Yeah, and that's
we
the
got a problem
that really pisses me off because I'm always looking. I always look at what other teams do with their running backs, and I'm like, explain to me why we can't do that. Explain to me why we can't pitch Saquon outside. because Dobbins had, I think, 2 or 3 plays where they just pitched it outside and he ran to the corner. One time he got like maybe 3 yards. One time he turned it into, I want to say, like a 7 or 8 yard gain.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he did the other time, but he was getting positive yards and
It was just
anything can
yeah.
happen. I was like, stretch the defense out. But for some reason, we don't do that. I don't get it.
I mean, they
I
did it
don't get
once and it worked, and they never went back to it. The 17-yard run was a pitch. It was an outside run.
Yeah.
And they never went back to it. So,
And you know what? I can't wait till we can watch this on film.
yeah,
They came out with that odd formation in the beginning. It was like I want to call it like a tight diamond, but they always were to the strong side or they were to the tight end side, and then they were stacked. But they kept everything tight, and they were running the ball well from that formation.
You talking about us, right?
Get away from it. So
you talking about the Eagles, right? Or you talking
the
about
Eagles? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when they did run it, it wasn't bad today.
Yeah, when they started out in the first half,
It wasn't bad.
I noticed that, and I was because they kept that formation. They didn't get out of that formation. They had to run that formation in like the whole first series.
Yeah, and
So,
I think, and I think it was, and I think that's where you said some of, Patullo's inexperience, But again, here's my thing with Patullo. I can't totally blame Patullo because here's my thing. Why would you give Ferrari keys to somebody that ain't got a driver license? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that happens all the time. That happens all the time. You either because at the end of the day, you either gonna step up to it because there's plenty of people that have been in that situation that have had success. So you never gonna find out till you get there.
I mean, that's true, but I'm like, is that something you want to bet on though?
You don't have a choice.
That's true.
We lost a decision, and you don't have the choice because we can go back and say, well, everybody may have had a second opinion after the second half of the Rams game, or the first half of last week, and then the second half came and he was like, oh, he's back in the doghouse again. So that's one of them situations you don't get experience until you get experience.
Right.
Ain't really much you can say about that.
Yeah. And maybe he's going through the growing pains of it.
Absolutely.
But, I just think the growing pains is fine, but when you got this caliber of a team, though, I think not that you can't go through them. I think the perspective is so harsh because he does have a Super Bowl team. Like if you get a first time OC job, it's fine to go through growing pains, but it's considering the roster we got. That's my only thing is like, is he going to really get to grow through that?
He learning on the job.
He learning on the job.
What's up, EC2X? Holla at me.
Man, let me tell you something, bro. Kevin Patullo, bro. It's like I'm wondering if, let's say McDaniels gets fired by the Miami Dolphins, would the Eagles consider bringing him in? Because you need someone, bro.
Nah.
You need someone.
Nah, they're not gonna do that. Number one, because that's
a lot.
That's a whole lot, but that's Sirianni's boy. And it doesn't make sense. We already had experience trying to bring somebody in during the season. We did that with Matt Patricia, and we saw how that ended. That is not a good deal because whether you like Patullo or not, they do have some type of continuity in the locker room, and it just wouldn't make any sense. Dance with the one you brought. Because what happens if you bring in somebody else and they're just as bad? What do they say? Well, he didn't have time to vibe with the guy.
It can't get worse than what we're seeing.
Sure, it can.
The fact that your running back only has 6 carries, and you have no identity on week 5.
But think about it like this.
What could be worse?
I agree with the 6 carries. The problem with that is, and I'll just take these 3 plays. I don't know if you heard me earlier. If Dallas Goedert catches that ball, if we don't get the illegal man downfield on the pass to Devontae Smith, and if AJ Brown catches that double move deep ball, if we just catch one of those 3, this is a totally different conversation.
Here's where I go with it, right? First of all, man, why are we throwing 38 times? What would be the point of throwing the ball 38 times? For what? You already have the lead.
Well, that last drive,
run the ball.
Yeah, we had to at that last drive,
The
but
only reason why you had to throw the ball is because your offense was stalling to the point where the Denver Broncos came back. If you didn't do that and you just ran the ball and took some time off the clock, you were already up. All you had to do was continue what you were doing in the first half. And you continued to go back to your old ways. It feels like we try to put too much effort into making offense flashy, right? We want, and listen, man, like, we look, but at the same time, that's not who we are. Like, I don't care how much we throw the ball. I'd rather have a W than an L. And when I see my running back only have 6 carries for what, 6 carries? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. This guy doesn't have the feel of the game. He's trying to put his receivers in a different route combination, but it's like there's only running 3 routes. He doesn't know how to open up the offense. I mean, we see it sometimes, but I'm starting to think Jalen Hurts is calling the game because when they asked Saquon Barkley created that play where Saquon Barkley got open, he said Jalen did that. Jalen was
you
doing
can
it.
see at some point.
So what is
Jalen
Kevin
was calling
Batula's
some
role?
plays at the
If
line
my
of
quarterback is not to cut you off, but my quarterback is out here making things happen, then why not just fire Kevin Batula and make my offense coordinator Jalen Hurts, since he's the one who's creating all these plays. I'm just saying, because like Kevin Batula, it's just between him and Nick Sirianni, I don't know who's calling plays where we see good or bad, but it's like it's not. There's no identity. What is our identity? We're going into what, week 5?
Yeah, but you got to also look at it from this standpoint, just like we were saying earlier before you got on. We got to Philly fans got to come to grips with the reality that our offensive line is not as good as it used to be.
Yep.
But your offensive line is banged up. Why are you throwing the ball 38 times?
Correct.
We can't run it.
Because we can't run it.
But you could run it. You were able to run it a little bit.
We can't run it well.
You also got to understand, like, when you come up with a game plan during the week, they're looking at everything that they've done. So while I agree, we should have ran the ball a little bit more, they didn't. And we were still having success. I go back to them same 3 plays. If we complete one of those passes, the conversation is totally different.
Absolutely.
So while I don't disagree with you, I don't want to blame this game. I don't want to blame this loss on Patullo. This was a player execution problem.
Absolutely.
That's what this was. This was a player execution problem.
In the
if we don't
passing
get
game.
those penalties, we keep the drive going.
This was part of it was the coaching. He got out coached by Sean Payton.
We didn't get out coached. We
got out coached in the 3rd and 4th quarter, didn't we not?
Self-inflicted wounds. We got stops and then gave them penalties. Jalen Carter jumps off sides. You keep the drive going. Zach Bond gets the penalty. I didn't agree with it, but they got the penalty. Then we get then you throw the refs into it. We got close calls, but we didn't get the call. It should have been intentional grounding. They didn't call it. It should have been a fumble. They ruled his hand going in motion. Little things like that. Some days we get the call, some days we didn't. But the opportunities that we had as a team to extend the lead, we didn't do it.
Absolutely.
See, I look at it a different way. I don't think Kevin Batula was great today. I mean, y'all can sit there and talk about the refs all you want. The refs are not always going to be on the side. We know that.
This ain't got nothing to do with the refs. That's just a part of the game.
But I'm just saying, like, we can talk about, well, if this happened, this happened. If the coaching staff knew what they were doing and they had a balanced attack, which they didn't, because it sounded like they wanted to prove they could throw the ball. And it's great you could throw the ball, but you also need the running back is such crucial to his offense, because if you're able to run it and throw the ball, that really makes a defense wonder what you're going to do. And also, here's another thing. If you know A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith getting covered, this is what I do. I'm going right to Jahan Dotson, because I know one of those guys is going to be open, right? If you know A.J. Brown is getting, let's say, doubled by, let's say, Patrick Surtain, you have a safety over top. I'm changing up the play, right? Okay.
You had 120 today, didn't you?
But EC, but check this out. But
we don't have that offense coordinator to do that. We have a guy who doesn't understand the game.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Jahan Dotson had a phenomenal catch. The only problem was his foot was 2 inches to the left.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
And
keep going.
again,
with him, right?
if we make that catch, the
Mhm.
conversation is different. But we didn't. If his foot is 2 inches to the right and inbounds, we score on that play. We go up by 2 possessions. So it's a whole different conversation. But it's little things like that during the game. I look at it like this: as a former player, when you go in and you watch the film and you see what you did on film, what they say was the first thing they'll tell you is you can't blame it on the refs. We had opportunities to win. We had opportunities to catch the ball. We had opportunities. We got plays, and then penalties brought us back.
Yep.
At the end of the day, that is what killed us. Now, I agree, Kevin Patullo got to be a little bit better and all of that kind of stuff. But to me, the game plan was good enough to win. But
Yes,
we
sir.
shot ourselves in the foot time and time and time again. That's what killed us.
Because
We
I
shot
want to,
ourselves in the foot on offense, and we shot ourselves in the foot on defense.
Coach, I was going. Oh,
Go ahead.
You got it. No, because I thought you was because I know my man. He makes some points, but here's because I'm with you, Coach. Here's the way I look at it, and this maybe could help people clear up. I asked, were these players that were on the field, were they in position to make plays today? The answer is yes. Offensively, they were. They just the execution wasn't there. And my thing is, for the people that are saying, about the run game hasn't been good. It's been bad.
If you know that, then here's the thing: you design plays for your receivers. The fact that we only got 3
Smitty
routes.
had 100-something today.
Hold on, because I watched the whole game, right? Y'all can analyze all 22, all that great stuff. But A.J. Brown only has 3 routes. All right, a slant, a what is it, a dug route or what they call it, or a slug route.
Get off AJ. The bottom line is
But
we had
what I'm
opportunities
trying
to
to say
win.
is,
We had
you talk about
opportunities to
Kevin
win.
Patullo, like he was great. He was horrible. His
Patullo wasn't
adjustments were
horrible today,
terrible, and
bro.
you know that.
Nah,
Today was not on
Were
Patullo.
you watching the game? That was.
No,
nah.
What was
Patullo was
Kevin
not the.
Patullo doing his best?
Listen, look.
Patullo was not the reason why we lost the game.
No, not at all.
Kevin Patullo was the main reason why we lost that game, bro. And if you
No
don't
way.
see it, then you're blind. I'm sorry to say.
Then we'll
It
agree
wasn't.
to
It wasn't
disagree.
Patullo. It wasn't Patullo
It was
at all.
Patullo.
Then we'll
Sorry to
agree to
say.
disagree. It wasn't Patullo.
It wasn't
Okay,
Patullo.
and listen, we all have our opinions, and I respect you, but I think Kevin Patullo was awful today with his adjustments. He was great in the first, second half. I thought the third, fourth quarter he showed his true colors of why he's consistently being why I think that we need an offense corner or someone to, not even an offense corner, but someone to help him out.
Okay,
Because
I got a question though. I got a question for you.
He should have made a better adjustments, in my
I
opinion.
got a question for you though, because you blaming Patullo. What can Kevin Patullo do about pre-snap penalties?
What do you mean pre-snap penalties?
Pre-snap penalties. The false starts before when Devontae caught that fourth down, that would have kept the sticks
Job, is
moving.
it not? That's Nick Job's stuff. But I tell you one thing Kevin Patullo can work on. Kevin Patullo can get guys like Jahan Dotson on the skinny post, can he not? If you know A.J. Brown,
he can't do that if there's a pre-snap penalty.
Why don't you get Jahan Dotson, the guy that no one thinks about? If you know A.J. and Devontae are getting, let's say they get double, right? I know if I'm an offense corner and I know Jahan Dotson 101, and I got A.J. Brown getting double, and I know that they're going to do is they're going to take away Saquon Barkley, and they're going to take away A.J. Brown, and they're going to take away Devontae. Okay, cool. You want to play that game? Cool. Jahan Dotson 101 coverage. Bam. Because that's now going to say to defense, okay, you want to do that? You can play that way. If I know it's an office corner, and I'm not even an office corner, but if I know that, why can't this office corner not see that? I got a Jahan Dotson. You want to play A.J. Brown? You want to double him? You want to double Smitty? You want to? Okay, cool. 1-on-1 with Jahan Dotson. Guess what?
You can't say that. You can't say that in a vacuum because you're saying that when those opportunities come, is Jahan Dotson going to be open every time?
Jahan Dotson makes that catch. Did he not show you he makes that catch?
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with running a play and that play being open. I understand what you're saying, and you're not wrong. What I'm simply saying is that this game today was not on Kevin Patullo. This was on the players that didn't execute when they were on the field. We had opportunities. If we make 2 or 3 more catches, ain't nobody caring about how many times we ran the ball.
We had the lead. What happened?
The fourth quarter came and Denver got on the run and got going. And
No.
defense,
Why did they get the ball in the first place? Who messed that drive up? Was it the players or was it the coach staff not making adjustments and being more aggressive?
Which drive you
the
talking about?
players.
Which drive you
players.
talking about?
So the players are the one to calling the plays.
The
Okay, let
players
me break it down. Let me break it down so you can. Let me get my point of view here.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm just telling you, Kevin Patullo is not off the hook today. If you think Kevin Patullo gets to have a pass, I'm sorry to say he's not.
Here's the thing.
His adjustments are horrible. He got outcoached by Sean Payton. Did he not?
Well, first of all, there's no shame in the first time OC getting outcoached by Sean Payton.
He's
That's a Super Bowl champion.
He's been there for 4 years now.
But he's not Sean Payton, though. He ain't that level. It's level.
Nah, not even close.
He's not that level.
He's been there for 4 years now. He's been under Nick.
But he's not Sean Payton, though. He's not Sean Payton.
I didn't say Sean Payton. I said he's not a first-year offensive coordinator. You're not going to do that and say he's a first-year offensive coordinator.
He's not a first-year offensive coordinator.
He's not though. He's been there. He's supposed to have been there for 4 years now.
They said the same thing about Brian Johnson.
That's
no.
Just because you've been there don't mean you're good at it.
Well, first of all, let's be clear. Patullo's not going against Sean Payton. He's going against Vance Joseph. Vic Fangio's going against Sean Payton.
Okay, so you got that coach by Vance Joseph.
Again, that's an experienced defensive coordinator. So we ain't talking about slouches. But here's the thing.
He's on the verge of being fired by Denver Broncos fans. According to a lot of Broncos fans, they didn't like him.
Well, so that's that. And guess what? And guess what? Sirianni was on the verge of being fired too, and we see how that worked out. So we got to be careful how we look at it.
I would have let, but if you asked me in 2023, I would have let Sirianni go. But
right,
I think
we can't look at it. But what I will say real quick is because where you're on Patullo, and this is where I'm with Coach Hunter, the play, even if your Jahan Dotson point is true, it doesn't matter if you got pre-snap penalties because no matter how many times he's open, the play is coming back because those pre-snap penalties kill drives, not Patullo. The pre-snap penalties did that.
Is that not the coaching? Is the coaching supposed to get those things fixed by week one?
No. Patullo's not telling dudes to pre-snap penalty
in practice. But that goes on the coaching, right?
But you just said Patullo, and then you said it's not Patullo. Which one
horrible. I said the whole coach staff other than Vic was good. The coach staff between Nick, the offense coordinator, offense coach Stowlin, I thought was terrible, making those penalties you can't have. Absolutely, the penalties killed us. But I'm just saying, Patullo, like you're running around and talking about Patullo's not the reason why we lost. He was main part of the reason why we lost was because he didn't make the adjustments.
What adjustments can you make to a pre-snap penalty?
Make adjustments, it's not.
What adjustment? But my counter is okay. Let's say you throw an 80-yard bomb to Jahan Dotson, but it comes back for a pre-snap penalty. How is Kevin Patullo responsible for the pre-snap penalty?
We didn't try it. How would you know?
Because we saw it all day.
We saw it when we don't target Jahan Dotson. One time, I believe, right?
Hold on. Let's get something clear. Jahan Dotson is wide receiver 3 in this offense. He ain't number 1 or number 2.
Devontae Smith, hold on. Can touch the ball. Can he not?
Here's the thing. Devontae Smith had 110 yards today. We didn't need to go to Jahan. Smitty, they had no answer for him. So that whole Jahan Dotson thing he's a wide receiver. Actually, he's wide receiver 4 because he's behind Dallas. He might even be 5 because he's probably behind Saquon too.
That was a tight end. He's not a receiver.
In terms of the pass catchers on the
tight end as a receiver, bro.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's my fault. All right.
Yeah. In terms of the order of the pecking order of the offense, especially in the passing game, goes AJ, Devontae, Dallas. That's how it goes.
And those guys are like who's that guy then? Who do you go to?
Devontae Smith. He had 100-some yards.
Because if you watch the game, they're taking away Devontae also. If you know
he had 120, didn't he?
Taking away our best receivers. So if you know that as an offense coordinator, wouldn't you do a skinny post or something to get one-on-one coverage with Jahan Dotson and go deep to him? That will make the defense honest, would it not?
Dude, here's what I'm asking
now they're back. Now they have to look at Jahan Dotson and say, "Look, man, this guy can burn it." Which would give Adrian Devontae open opportunities, would it not?
You're thinking in a vacuum because you didn't say a skinny post about 12 times. The bottom line is, what if they run a skinny post, but they in the cover 2, or if they in a defense that drops back that can cover skinny post?
Complaining then, but at least you got to try something different. You got to try something different, and we haven't.
But here's the thing, though. I keep asking you, what different thing can you try if players are making pre-snap mistakes? That's what you're not answering that part. What does that have to do with the OC? The pre-snap penalties today. Explain to me how Kevin Patullo is responsible for that. Because there were drive-killing plays that took place because of those penalties. Explain how Patullo
So,
is responsible for the pre-snap
what's the
penalties.
job as an offensive corner? What's the job as an offensive corner? What's his title?
His title, his job, an offensive coordinator, is to get his players in position to make plays, which he
Okay.
did. He did.
Did he?
Yes.
What? When?
Bro.
The
The first,
Smitty.
second half?
Wait, hold
Okay.
on. Okay,
What
hold
about
on.
third and fourth quarter?
Here's those plays were in the third and fourth quarter that I'm talking about.
They weren't, though.
Smitty's. Hold on. Let me explain this. Break it down. The Smitty go ball on 4th and 4 that picked up the first down. That would have kept the drive going. It got called back for a pre-snap penalty, which resulted in the punt. That's not Patullo. There was an A.J. Brown false start. That's not Patullo. There was an illegal man downfield. That's not Patullo. Zach Bond's penalty ain't Patullo. That's players, man.
What about the receiving combination? Did you not see the third and fourth quarter when Tony Romo broke it down? Did you not see the guys jumbled up again? Did you not see
Jumbled
that?
up in terms of what?
They were literally like, when you watch the receivers, they're running only 3 route combinations. There should be more than that.
Which
Bro.
Why are they only
receiver?
running around?
Nah. So I understand what you're saying, but you
I
still
mean, that's
think
my opinion. Y'all can
you
mute
still
me all you
thinking in the
want. It's
vacuum.
my opinion.
All right, cool.
Well, I just think Kevin Patullo needs to be better, man. You got an offense this good. There should be no reason why you only can get Devontae open, not your other guy.
Bro,
But here's
it's
the
not
thing, though.
about-
Here's the thing, though. We
about
not
Kevin
disagreeing.
Patullo.
We not disagreeing with it can be better, but bro, you can't have. First of all, again, this is where Coach says it. You going up against Pat Surtain and one of the best defenses in the league. You're not gonna throw for 400. So somebody's gonna have a better day than the other. Devontae Smith had it going today. He had 100+ yards. Dallas had a TD. Saquon had a TD. AJ was actually pretty good besides the little slowdown, but he was all right. This wasn't Patullo. And in the run game thing that I got to push back on, the run game has stunk all year. Stop blaming the OC for not wanting to run the ball if it ain't been good, because had he did it and it not worked, we would have been like, why did he get so conservative like he did against Tampa?
Right.
And plus,
When you throw it 38 times a game, I do blame the OC because you
no,
have
I don't blame the OC, because
You
here's
can
the
blame
thing,
the
though.
OC, but that's not why we lost. The OC is not why we lost.
And this is the thing that people got to realize. This
That's
thing
not
that people got to.
The OC doesn't block. The OC doesn't jump off sides. The OC doesn't get illegal man downfield. The OC doesn't get unsportsmanlike. The OC doesn't do all of that. And if those things don't happen, we got 2 extra scores. If those things don't happen, we got 2 extra scores on the board. And we would have extended the lead. Like I said before, if Jahan Dotson would have caught that ball, we would have won
easily.
But we didn't.
But we didn't, because he didn't catch the ball.
He didn't catch the ball.
Don't matter what you say, because it didn't happen, did it?
No. So
who you blaming for? Because you talk about the offensive penalties, okay, but that goes back to what? Coach.
No, it don't go back to coach.
Don't sit there and talk to me about don't sit there and talk to me about a skinny post that didn't get run. We can only deal with what we do on the court.
Right.
So, all right, dude. We good. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth. At the end of the day,
you still got me, Coach.
I got you. You're not gonna, my opinion is not to change your mind. So,
I mean, I was with you, Coach. I thought, like I said, it's Patullo. I thought today, I'm 100% with you. This was on the players, man. This was not Patullo today. I'm not saying he's perfect.
This was player execution,
players, man. And like I said, me personally, I don't necessarily think 9 runs is enough. No, and I think they should have went to the pitches. But Coach, that O-line and the run game ain't been good like that anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? He could have, ran the ball a little bit more. But the plays that were there to be made, they were in the pass game.
At the end of the day, they were there to be made.
They were there to be made.
In my opinion, I just think he got lost in the offense like they did in 2023.
Absolutely.
So I understand what he was saying. But in spite of that, we still had opportunities to win the game. That's why he was stuck on blaming it on Patullo. And I'm like, okay. But at the end of the day, if we catch 2 more passes,
exactly,
the outcome is different. And that ain't have nothing to do with running the ball. I wish he would have ran the ball more too, but he didn't.
Yeah, it did.
And we still had an opportunity to win.
Absolutely. So, despite all
that. I guess, I was trying to tell him, as somebody that's been in the locker room, and I know how it goes in those film sessions, you don't blame it on the guy that's calling the plays.
You don't. Especially not.
If somebody go to the free throw line and miss a free throw, are you blaming it on the coach? No,
you blaming the guy who missed a free throw.
We knew exactly what we had to do. If Jahan Dotson's foot is 2 inches to the right, he's inbounds, and that's
Yeah.
a phenomenal catch, and we get 3 points on that drive.
At least.
If Smitty, if we get that ball that Smitty caught, if we don't get the penalty, that's at least 3 more points on that drive.
Yep. And that would have gave
And
us the lead again.
correct. And just one of those plays from either Dallas
Smitty.
or AJ, if one of those plays hits, this is a totally different conversation.
Right.
So for me, as somebody that played the game, and I understand what it means to get your game plan, but when you get on the field, school's out. You got to execute.
Absolutely. Players got to execute, man.
Players got to execute.
Especially when we talking, like I said, we're not talking about, opportunities there were opportunities there. And some of them were made, but just penalties brought them back. And the penalties weren't Petulo's fault. Those were pre-snap. AJ had one, Saquon had one, Devontae had one. That's not Petulo, man. Petulo not telling Deuce to go out there.
And that's just on the offense.
That's just on off, because we talking about the offense. You know what I'm saying? I know the defense was out there for a while, so
defense was out there for a good while because the offense couldn't get going.
Well, they couldn't sustain a drive, and
correct.
Part of it was the penalties, and the other part of it was those missed opportunities that brought the defense right back out. But see, that's where, not to harp on him, but that's where I feel like when people have a narrative, they want to stick to it no matter what the facts tell you.
Yo,
he
the Ravens about to win this game, dude.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, my picks this week are gonna be trash.
Rough week for everybody, huh?
Yeah, my picks this week are gonna be trash this week because everybody win the games.
Man,
but us.
But I'm like, that's my thing. I feel like with people sometimes when they have a narrative that they sit, and I agree. I think we all can agree that Petulo can be better. But today wasn't on him, though. No, it was not.
No. That was player execution, man.
Player execution, 100%. Guys were in positions to make plays, and whether it was Jahan's foot, the false start, the AJ and Dallas not being able to locate the ball in time or whatever, those plays were far more indicating of what happened in Petulo's play calls. I didn't think he was that bad in terms of play calling today. I thought he mixed it up. I thought he, some of those fake RPOs with Jalen and getting Dallas, around on the perimeter. I thought they were fine.
I do wish he would have kept running the ball because I think we were getting, especially after Saquon busted that 17-yarder.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And we still had opportunities to extend the lead, and we couldn't do it.
But I think, and I
just saw that, Kurt G. I'm watching it. I got my camera up, my TV up here, and I just see the Bills just lost. So no more undefeated teams. So all of the 1970 Dolphins is having their champagne tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, so and that's my thing. And I've heard people say this a lot, and I don't know if you've heard this too. I think people like to criticize results of a play, but they don't criticize the process of the play. If AJ and them make them plays, nobody's complaining right now.
Correct.
Tulo ain't bad. Jalen's fine. Sirianni's cool. Everything's okay. But because the players who were in position didn't make the play, now we blaming the coach? Nah, bro. Like, you got to take accountability. And the players did. But as people watching it, you got to be like, nah, if you ain't do your job and you was in position to do it, that's on you. Petulo ain't. I'm pretty sure even AJ right now, that ball, what I'm saying, I don't think he's looking at Petulo saying, damn, he didn't get me open. He probably like, it was just a miscommunication. It happens. And you try to fix it going forward. But like I said, I think Petulo can be better. But I don't think today was on him, man. I don't think. And like I said, if we being fair, you said this, and I kind of revised, and I agree with you. This is a first-time OC taking over a Super Bowl team. That's not easy, bro. It's not you. And the thing that I was saying before he got on, his growing pains are going to be far more magnified than, let's say, if he was the first-time OC in Tennessee, he would be able to get through this a lot easier.
Right. We got the everybody watching.
Exactly. That's where I felt like it was unfair to him. And that's why I said earlier, he might have one of the toughest jobs in the league, because it's not that he's just a first-time OC. It's the first-time OC for a Super Bowl level, not Super Bowl, the Super Bowl champions with all that talent. So everything he does, it gets blamed on, even when it's not his fault. Today,
they're going to do the same thing that they always do. They're going to reconvene. They're going to watch the film. They're going to figure out what ways. They already know they should have ran the ball more. They already know that.
Absolutely.
But you still look at the situation as it exists and as it unfolded, and they're going to pick and choose and say, okay, we should have done this better. We should have caught the ball here. If we don't get this penalty, all of that type of stuff. And you can't, hypotheticals don't matter. It matters what you did on the field.
It absolutely. We can't sit here and be like, hey, if he ran this or if he got. Listen, we can only talk about the plays that were there to be made, and it wasn't made.
They were made
You know?
because just like last week, for as much praise or however you want to look at it, we get from that first half. Patullo and Jalen Hurts, you got to give them some of the criticism for the second half.
Absolutely.
That it goes hand in hand. So
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. People, like you said, they got the agenda and they want to. If you hate Patullo, you just hate Patullo. I'm not going to sit there and try to argue with you. I'm not trying to change your mind, but you're not going to tell me like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh, I would I would never tell you that, Coach. I got
he was on the tangent, man. And it's like, bro, like you just
no.
Like, I'm not trying to pull that card on you, but I've been in those rooms and I've sat at those tables, so I understand what they're trying to do.
I know.
Guess what? We had and you know what? With the exception of how much we actually did run the ball, I like the calls we had throwing the ball. We got the ball out of their hands quick. When Surtain was playing 5 yards off of AJ Brown, we kept hitting them with the slant, and they couldn't stop us.
I thought the passing game, when it was called, I thought it was pretty, like in terms of the routes and all that. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
man. It was that bad.
What's up, Cass?
Man, I thought 7 hours later I feel a little better. I don't. And I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna tell you what I'm more pissed off about. That we've been sitting here, we've been bringing everybody to the podium. We done brought Kevin Patullo up to the front of the congregation. We done brought Jalen Hurts up to the front of the congregation. We done brought AJ Brown up to the front of the congregation. We done brought Jeff Stowlin up to the front of the congregation. But hey Nick, come on up to the front of the congregation. Let's have a conversation. Because now we having a discipline issue.
He had his press conference today.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it. I didn't have the nerve. I
think he was up there.
He had a nice little long press conference today.
I went out to eat with family and had a mug on my face the whole time.
Yeah, you gotta you know what? And I'll say the same thing with here's what I will say. When we go through practice during the week, when we work on our game plans, when we sit down and we watch film session and then we go to team session, because how we would do it is, all the running backs watch film, right? Then the running backs in the offensive line watch film together. Then everybody as a team, the offensive team and the defensive team, then they watch film together. You do by position, then you watch together as a team, right? You don't go into those situations trying to lose, trying to have penalties, trying to drop balls, trying to step out of bounds. That's just not how it works. But that is a reality of the game that we play. And what we've been saying all night, even with my man that wanted to argue about Patullo, and what I was trying to get him to understand, like, I didn't disagree with what he was saying about Patullo. The only problem is we still had opportunities to win the way we were playing today, and we did not take advantage of those opportunities.
Not for nothing, to be honest with you. He went away from the run game, but I didn't think Patullo was that bad today.
He wasn't.
That's what we were saying. I didn't think he was.
Look at it like I look at it. All right, look at it like this. You get a 9-yard completion on 1st and 10. 2nd and 1, you get an incompletion, and then on 3rd and 1, Smitty gets a false start. Now we on 3rd and 6.
Exactly.
Shooting ourselves in the foot.
1st and 10, Saquon gets an 8-yard run. We go into 2nd and 2. It comes back for a holding.
Yep.
And then the big one was the Smitty catch on 4th down. That's the game right there.
That's the game. Either the Smitty catch or the Jahan Dotson catch. The one inch to the right. Illegal man downfield.
Yeah. Yeah, that's two of those.
That's a possible 14 points.
Two of those took away 8 and 9 yard completions.
Correct. Because they were drive killers.
Especially that Smitty bomb was the one that really hurt.
They were drive killers, and at the very least, we would have got field goals out of it.
I didn't totally understand that call on the Smitty catch either.
Oh, so that was an RPO.
That was the one where they said that was the one they said Saquon was illegal motion when he came back to the backfield.
So okay, yeah. So I can explain that. So this is what happens. So when you have the problem was, who was that? Jahan Dotson?
Yeah.
At the Z receiver?
I think it might have been AJ.
Going at the bottom of the screen.
The problem was when he got set, you'll notice that a lot of wide receivers, when they walk up to the line, they will immediately look at the ref and they'll point to the ref. The ref will tell them to either get on the line, like move up, or you're good.
No, they're not doing that no more.
I know. But if you watch the play, when Jahan Dotson got to the line, he got together, then he took a step forward. When he took that step forward, Saquon was already moving. So you had two people moving at the same time, and you can't do that. The receiver has to get set, then the motion comes. But the problem was when he did that second move to get close to the line, Saquon was already moving. So that's two people moving at the same time. That's illegal formation. So by the letter of the law, they were right in that one. So
makes sense.
Again, it just sucks. They run that 30 million times in practice. And it's not a problem, but just one thing, you look over, then you realize you were a foot and a half from the line of scrimmage, then you scoot up. But when you scoot up, it comes Saquon penalty. It's
now
like
it was
good until it wasn't. That you don't think about those things until they actually happen. So that was the correct call.
That's a great breakdown, Coach.
Shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, nah, I think, like I said, we threw 5 weeks, man, and I'm pretty clear a little bit that I just think Patullo is just he in a tough spot, man. For this, could you imagine your first ever gig being at the highest level of any company, like, and you learning on the job, and you expect it to produce top-notch results? That's not easy.
Hey, man,
I hate that I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but Tony Romo had a good point on the broadcast.
What did he say?
He said the problem with being so good and winning 20 out of 21 games is when you come into the new season, the fans are expecting to see what they saw in the Super Bowl, but they not understanding it's a new team, new play caller. They didn't even look like, and he said it. He said they didn't even look like that until the playoffs. They built this up all the way to the playoffs, and it's going to end up happening the same way. But it's Philly, and they have no patience.
I wouldn't say they had no patience, but it's like you learn it on the job. But this is a results-based business. You saw, because a prime example, look at what they did with Sean Desai. And I didn't think Sean Desai was doing that bad of a job.
Right? I thought they took Sean Desai off the job coming off of one of his better performances.
Correct. Don't forget what Sean Desai did.
That Dolphins game was immaculate.
Well, look at what happened when we went to LA. We shut the Rams down in the second half. They did not score in the second half. So he made the adjustments. It was a battle in the first half. Second half came out, defense shut them down. And I don't know what happened, but they weren't happy. And the problem with that defense that year was it didn't have nothing to do with Sean Desai. The problem was they couldn't tackle. Worth a shit.
And yeah, that's why I was going. I think they panicked after the 49ers and Cowboys games.
That's exactly what happened.
But both of those games, you got practice squad linebackers out there, and both of those teams, when you playing them, got a vendetta against you coming off of 10 days of rest because they both had Thursday night games before that.
Yeah,
and you coming off an overtime game in a monsoon with the Bills, and you got the 49ers coming in there looking for revenge.
I tell you what, I sure am glad Nakobe Dean will be back this week.
Yeah, it'll help a lot.
Because we're gonna need him against.
Because that run defense got to get together. I don't like the run defense at all.
Absolutely, Jahad Campbell is getting it done, and he's
running. They're running duo right at him. He gets washed out of there.
They need help in the run game. So Dobbins was gashing us today. Dobbins was gashing us today, and still the defense played top notch. But you can't expect that defense to always stop somebody. It's not gonna happen. The other guys get paid too.
Well,
So
that's
I
why.
agree.
we again, they gonna look at this tape and be pissed off because they gonna see all of the meat that they left on the table. All that food they left on the table should have been. We should have won that game. My prediction for the game should have came to fruition.
What'd you have?
I had 27-10.
You did get
Well,
your
yeah,
bold
them-
prediction right there. One of your bold predictions.
What if them players was made? You'd have been in
I
the
don't even
ball.
remember what my bold. No. Listen, one of my bold predictions was that Jalen Hurts was not going to get sacked today.
Ooh,
No, not that one. Definitely not that one.
yeah, that
What was the
was.
other one?
You lost that one. You lost that one 4 times over. I don't count the 2 he ran out of bounds on.
Yeah, I don't count that. So that's 4 sacks. Yeah, I said the same thing. But what was my other?
Saquon was gonna have a plus 10-yard receiving touchdown.
Yep.
Well, you was right about that.
Yep. We got that was a
And
perfect. That was the
see, that's what I'm
example
talking
of
about.
getting the
That was
mismatch.
an outstanding read from Jalen.
Yeah.
Let him do more of that.
I
Well,
don't think they're stopping him.
he did. I guess that's what people get misconstrued about what Kevin Patullo was doing. That's exactly what Jalen did. And the way that this is how I interpret it. The way it's working now is Kevin Patullo was calling the play. They calling the play that they worked on all during the week based on their analytics, based on their film study. They got their chart going. And when it's 3rd and 5, and they're at the plus 45, Denver runs this defense 45.2% of the time. And these are the plays when we see this defense. And when Jalen gets up there, he looks at it, okay, we're going to make some changes. I know what they called because this is what we planned for, but we seeing something different. Jalen go to work. That's the way it's been working. It was good until it wasn't. It was good until we got them penalties. And then Kevin Patullo ain't scheduling the penalties in the game plan.
He not.
So
Yeah, that's why I don't blame Kevin Patullo for this one. This was on the players.
Not at
This
all.
was
It
on the
was
players. This is the players' loss.
player execution failure.
Yeah.
And even within that, coach, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not excusing penalties, but I just don't think you're gonna see AJ, Devontae, and Saquon have penalties again in the same game.
Exactly.
That's just so fluky. That just don't happen, man.
I'm gonna tell you what happened today. What happened today was all the stuff that they've been able to gloss over and make the winning plays to win the game. All that stuff came back to bite them today, and they couldn't make the winning play.
No, we couldn't. I mean,
because they still had a chance right there at the end.
We had a chance. If I said it earlier, I don't know if you was listening. If AJ and Devontae are not literally occupying the same space, I think AJ comes down with that ball.
Yeah, somebody been open for sure.
Nobody said I got it. Nobody called it.
Nah,
it's going so fast.
Not on the Hail Mary. You just trying to. They picked the worst possible situations. It was like Devontae jumped into AJ, and both they sets of hands hit the ball. But AJ couldn't close it because basically, Devontae Smith looked like Quato from the movie, like he was in AJ's chest, and they just disrupted each other. But they had a chance to catch the ball. If it had been one person there, I believe AJ or Devontae, because I know Devontae got hops too. I think they would have got that. Matter of fact, I'm surprised they don't put Cooper DeJean back there on the Hail Mary, because Cooper DeJean can jump out the damn gym.
Yeah, he
I think Devontae definitely comes down with it. Devontae, that's one of his best traits is jump balls.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we had our opportunities, man. Oh, you like Lynn? You like that Quato?
I think that's what good. They needed that. I think they're gonna murder the Giants on Thursday.
I wouldn't go that far.
Listen.
We can lose to anybody.
I'm with you, because what I was about to say is we are in a situation and we got to come to grips with it. Eagles fans must come to grips with the situation that we ain't just running over anybody.
Nah.
And I know what it looked like at the beginning. We should have ran over the Giants. We should run over the Commanders. We should run over Dallas. Everybody we play, we got a game on our hands until we get our shit together. We still have the potential to be the best team in the league, bar none. We made all of those mistakes today, and we still had an opportunity to win at the end. We still had an opportunity to win. To me, that's the silver lining. Because as bad as we played, we still had an opportunity to take the game back. However, going forward, we got to eliminate that mess that we have. Defense is holding up their end of the bargain. Kevin Patullo, Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, they got to get together. I know they keep saying get on the same page. This ain't getting on the same page. This is just straight execution.
It is. And I think what you saying, Coach, and I agree with you that no matter who we play right now, we got a game on our hands.
We got a game.
In part because, like for example, I think Jalen had 280 today. If last year Jalen had 280, we'd have won by 50. You know why? Because we had 2,000 yards coming out the backfield. That's not happening right now. So we got to play 60 minutes because, like I said, today's game, if we have 2 scores last year, Saquon is going to break a 70-yarder at some point in the fourth quarter, and that's going to be a game.
Yeah.
So we don't got that right now. So, yeah, every game is a game until proven otherwise.
And you know what irks me? You know what irks me? If Jahan Dotson catches that ball, if we don't get the penalty on Devontae Smith's catch, Jalen's got 300 plus.
Sure does.
That's what pisses me off.
Sure does.
Because I'm so tired of the narration that he can't throw the ball and we can't never get up there.
Yeah.
What he can't do, and it's like.
This week is gonna be see what happens when he throw the ball.
Exactly.
But see, that's to me though, and this is why I get on people, Coach. That's lazy narratives though, because that's not factual. He played. I thought for 38 attempts, he played well.
He did play well.
Just
you know how the sausage is made in
know.
the social media landscape.
I know. But I thought, like you said something that I agreed with. I'm like, for him to throw the ball 38 times. I thought he was good. I thought some of the sacks was unfortunate, but I thought he was good. And he showed, like, and not that we ever did, but he can clearly, to me, handle that load of passing. It's just not necessarily conducive to winning all the time. But that's other people. That wasn't him, though.
Yeah.
On the cool, no, like, it's not conducive to winning, but they would have won today if they wouldn't have shot themselves in the foot. It wasn't that he got stopped. They stopped themselves.
The other folks that kind of let him down, not him. Just some of the other stuff that, you know.
We talked about a 9-yard completion, an 8-yard completion, the one to Dotson, the one to Smitty. That's another 75 yards right there.
Yep.
He might have had close to 400 today. I ain't gonna lie. If AJ would
have been good, he'd have been well over 360
against a good defense too.
That was the number one defense in opposing QBR, number one in sacks, number one in quarterback pressures. They wouldn't have been man. Please, I'd have got kicked off Twitter this week.
But look at so flip it and just look at the potential, right? Jalen Hurts had his best game in the air against the number one defense. The only misstep was the penalties, and B, not running the ball a little bit more. And those are things that technically should be easy to fix. Should be is the key word in the sentence. But as you know, again, you can't look at a game in a vacuum. Like my man was trying to tell me, like you just throw the skinny post. Like
to who?
You ain't just gonna throw the skinny post.
Nah, Tony Romo made me mad with that on the scramble. He should have threw it to the back of the end zone to Smitty. I'm like, well, first of all, you don't know his line of vision sitting up there. And second of all, as soon as that play ran, everybody ran to that corner. That was covered.
Yeah. And also, I mentioned this earlier, but like a bad ball by Jalen Hurts. He throws that ball in the back of the end zone on the left side to Smitty. It was a little high.
Oh yeah. On the first red zone drive,
it was open.
Yeah,
he missed that one
a little bit.
So he missed that one. Yeah, but when Romo said that, I said, "See, that's why you threw that many picks in your career."
I like Romo, man. I can't hate on Romo.
Yeah, Romo funny.
I like Romo.
But back to what I was saying earlier about the Giants. I completely agree with everything y'all said about it. Right now. You can't really say that because of the way we playing. But in my gut, I just feel like they're gonna murder the Giants on Thursday. I just feel like it. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
I hope
Maybe
so.
because I smoked a little while ago, but I just feel like
Well,
they're going.
Jackson Dart's decent, but he ain't. I don't think he's ready for Vic Fangio. My only issue is we are injured in the worst spots. Jalen Carter is hurt. That's why you're not hearing his name a lot because he's dealing with that. He playing through that shoulder, and that limits your strength. That everything you do. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Davis. I didn't hear his name one time today. Not one.
Nah, I think he might have had one pressure, but that was about it.
So,
Yeah, he had a pressure. They called his name for a pressure, but
Landon Dickerson is a
they double
problem.
teamed him. They double teamed him and ran away from him.
Yeah, but
I
we'll see
mean,
what happens when N'Kobe comes back.
I hope, man. I hope he come back. I think he's healthy now, but I definitely think once he gets up to speed,
he was healthy. He was healthy like 3 weeks ago.
you know, I mean, just like game speed. Once he get up to game speed,
Oh yeah, he'll be good. When he comes
yeah, I think he'll be helpful for sure because I think that run defense leave a lot to be desired right now. Because
yeah,
that wasn't just today.
I definitely see N'Kobe playing early downs. Like N'Kobe keys very well against the run, and
Man,
Jihad, as athletic as he is, he's still at that point in his career where he gets lost.
He's still learning. He's still
young.
learning.
And that's not his fault. He's a rookie. It's going to happen. And you playing against Sean Payton, who's going to give you a bunch of different looks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But I look at it like this, and if you are another team watching this tape, what are you going to pull from it?
If you playing against the Eagles?
Yeah. What are they going to pull from this tape?
If I was another team, we sending blitzes all the time. Like I'm sending pressure at Jalen because they struggling to pick up blitzes, man. Because that's a problem.
Well,
at times.
Here's what I'll say: they had a couple schemes drawn up that were pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And I know that one sack that Jalen took, he didn't even see the guy coming off the edge because they switched up at the line of scrimmage. And I mean, that's what a hitting coverage is meant to do. You bring everybody to the front of the line, and the guys that look like they about to blitz the gap, they drop back into Tampa, and you don't know where the guy's coming from. Jalen was looking to his left, and that cornerback came from his right, and I was glad he didn't fumble the ball.
Yeah.
So that was just the perfect blitz called against the perfect play and the perfect pass protection because everybody slid left, and you had an extra guy on the right, and that's when that guy came late. So that was a Sean Payton special right there. Those are the things that I worry about. I
got a question for you, though, Coach.
Everybody's going to look at the run game and see what Dobbins did against us. And also, they're going to go back from last week. The last 2 weeks, last two games, they're going to look at what they did running the ball against us because the last two games, the run game, they gashed us pretty good.
I got a question for you, though, Coach.
Yeah.
What you think of the pass rush?
It's lacking right now. We get flashes and we get a little bit of pressure, but we're not really bearing down on anybody. Zadarius Smith is paying dividends right now, but other than that, like I said, Jalen Carter's hurt. Jordan Davis, he's getting double teamed. So, and Jalen Carter's not himself. So when he's single coverage, he's supposed to win every one of those battles, but he ain't got no shoulder, so it's not working.
Because I'm like,
Ojulari was okay. Moro Jomo made a couple plays today.
I think Ojulari needs more reps.
I didn't hear Jalen Hunt name at all.
Jalen Hunt forced the intentional grounding.
He would have had a sack. He would have had a sack if not for the pick up.
Both of them. The first one and the one that got picked up.
I was in and out when I was streaming, so there's a couple
that
I missed.
Matter of fact, they were two very good reps. They tried to bootleg to his side, and he did not bite on neither one of them.
Okay.
And forced both of the intentional groundings. The one that got picked up, which was weird, and the one they didn't pick up.
Yeah, I do think though, and to kind of piggyback off what y'all saying, the pass rush to me it's a little bit of a concern because when the team is down 2 scores in the fourth, they got to go even throughout the game, not just the fourth. It's the whole game, 60 minutes. I'm like, there's situations because there was a 3rd and 15 that they picked up in that fourth quarter that was pretty huge. But I'm like, the pass rush, particularly off the edge, is a little bit concerning right now.
I'll say this what I saw from the pass rush. I thought the pass rush had like probably one of its better overall days today. The problem with the pass rush is not the pressure. They're not finishing.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Like
I was about to say, like,
they're getting there and they're not finishing. But to be fair, they have faced a lot of quarterbacks that get up out of there.
Well, I mean
that's
like
part of it.
Even Matthew Stafford, he's not fast, but he knows how to move in the pocket.
Yeah, and I always say this, but it's true. The other guys get paid too. So
And part of that does go back to the Jalen Carter thing. See, last year when the edge was forcing pressure and they weren't getting there and it was stepping up, he was stepping up right into Jalen Carter, who was murdering people.
Correct. You
He's
couldn't
not
step
murdering
up
people
in the
this year.
pocket.
But my thing to that point, which he's right about, but I mean, Jalen can get out of there just as much as anybody, and he getting sacked left and right. So,
but that's because our guards are getting pushed back too, though.
Yeah, our guard play is not good.
Jalen Carter is not pushing their guards back, and our guards are getting pushed back. That's the difference.
And also remember, everybody, the gig is up on Jalen Hurts. You got to play discipline and stay in your lanes when you rush. If you over pursue, he's gonna dip underneath and burn you, just like he did in the Super Bowl. So everybody, when they put their game plan together for the Eagles, that's one of the things they talk about is the defensive line. You got to stay in your lanes. If you on the edge, do not over pursue, because if you over pursue and you don't get to him, he's gonna sneak right underneath and run to where you aren't.
And what that does though, that gives him more time. So that means people should be getting open.
Yeah, but it doesn't. They collapse the pocket because they do that mush rush. When they do that mush rush, we got them long ass developing routes, but the pocket closes, and then Jalen has no exit strategy. That's when he gets. Now we've seen him where he tries to get up out of there and he breaks a tackle, and Jalen Hurts does Jalen Hurts things. But you don't want your quarterback to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat to get out of the pocket to scramble and do what he does best. That's the problem, because to me that's a win for the defense, because that means Jalen had to do something crazy. He had to pull some mad move to do that. That's going to happen sometimes. That's why he's such a great player. But for the most part, he's not going to escape. And eventually, they're going to get your hands on him, and they're going to get you down for the sack.
Yeah,
and I also think that Jalen Hurts, and I don't disagree, he is taking the sack to not get rid of the ball when he doesn't need to. Because there was a lot of coverage sacks today.
Hell yeah.
So,
and I think what you're saying that is true, and I got to draw kind of an analogy, because like I said, I watch your NBA stuff too. Is like in basketball, like when you got a player making tough shots consistently, you're like, yeah, you can make those, but you're not living off that. Like you don't want to make a living off making them kind of plays. Correct. You know, every now and again it's cool, but you want to get you some layups too. Well, the part of the offense that I don't see, we don't get no layups for Jalen, man. He don't get no, throw it 3 yards and let's say Saquon run another 15 or whatever. Like it's not a lot of that. He's like, he got to work hard for everything. And I'm like, that's one of the things that I hope they can fix. All I can do is hope at this point.
I got to go back and look at the film again, because I want to see. I'm sitting there looking at the notes, and I'm like, how many times did we go under center today?
I can only remember like once.
I'm looking at the game notes, and every other line, every line is shotgun.
I remember one play they started off under center, but I think AJ Fall started. I think it was an half formation. I don't know if they went back to it, though. I think they came back in pistol.
Yeah, because I think we run the ball better out of under center.
I think so too. Saquon can get his feet going forward towards the line of scrimmage and pick his hole.
I hate when we run out of gun formation. As a running back, I do not want to run east and west. I want to go north and south. Put me in eight or put me in pistol, but let me go forward, not to the side. So, Angie, I don't know what they're going to do with N'Kobe. I saw your question. They're not going to sit Campbell, but they might. Don't forget, they can put Jihad at edge if they really want to. So,
Jihad and Bond.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but
I can
that's one
see.
of those situations where I
I
trust Vic
can see
Fangio to
Vic
figure
being.
it out.
I can see Vic being creative with all three of them,
Yeah.
and I can
Not
see
for
two.
nothing.
I can see.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jahad Campbell on the defensive line. Very similar to what Micah Parsons was doing last year with Dallas, going up and down the line, and you see what Myles
Oh,
Garrett is doing. Myles Garrett will
oh,
be jumping gaps and all of that type of stuff, and you don't know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
So he's a chess piece on the board. He's a queen piece on the board. You can put him anywhere. So I'm looking for Vic Fangio to find a way to have Zach Bond, Jahad Dotson, and Kobe Dean on the field at the same time. He'll make it
uh,
work.
after watching, I don't know if y'all talked about it, but after watching this playback about 3 or 4 times, sitting at this table at this dinner with these people, I think Jalen and AJ share 50-50 blame on missing that touchdown pass. I think Jalen hitched one time too much, which AJ didn't think the ball was coming, and then I think AJ kind of quit on the route a little bit at the end.
When he made that second move and the guy put hands on him, in my opinion, in my internal clock, I would have thought the ball would have been gone because I'm thinking ain't no way he still got the ball.
Right.
So you're right in that regard, but I don't think it was like giving up on the route because when he turns around, he's trying to find Jalen, and he's oh shit, the ball's coming. So
Yeah, that's
and even that, if Jalen throws a better ball, or if Jalen throws the ball a little bit short but leads him inside. So there's the different things they can do, and I'm nitpicking. I know I'm nitpicking. It's easy to say when we watching it and rewinding it and slow moing it, but you know, it is what it is. That was a double move, and that was a lot of time. And we talked about this earlier before you got on, man. That was a lot of time on that play, and I'm not gonna blame AJ on that.
no. I think you're right though. I think there's, like I said before, I think it's a human element to the game.
Yeah.
These players ain't. This is not Madden. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to go off autopilot per se. Like there's a human element to the game where it's like you said. This is a play. I'm expecting. You know, there's a progression, and I'm expecting by the time I get out of this break, if the ball ain't coming to me now, it's never coming. Right or wrong, it's just the human aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that's where the miscommunication kind of take place.
And also, what you got to remember is when you're like that and you're running your back into the play, you're listening. If you hear a roar of a crowd or something like that, you know, was it a sack? Was it something happening? When you don't hear nothing, you're like, "Uh-oh, like what's going on? Is the play still?" And like I take AJ for his word. When he turned around, the first thing you do is you trying to find the ball. So, and it's very difficult when you got to do a double move, and then you gotta do some hand job to get away from that second guy, and then you got to turn your head and find the ball because you don't know where Jalen is. You don't know if he scrambled, what happened. So
yeah,
you know, I'm not gonna. I know they're gonna try to eviscerate him on the radio this week, but I'm not buying it.
Well, that's what they're gonna do. But I got a hard time believing a dude like AJ don't want the ball. You know what I'm saying? If he legitimately think a ball is coming his way, or even if he don't, I'm pretty sure he's going to do the best.
Who got feedback on the mic? I keep hearing something on the mic. There we go.
Is that me?
Yeah, you got some type of reverb going on. Like it's reverbing what's going through the mic, but it's coming out like muffled.
Is it me?
There we go. Whatever happened is gone now.
Okay, I think I had a phone next to me.
No, it came back.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Oh, I don't think it's me, Coach. I think it's
okay.
You got me clearly?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. You know, I was saying, I don't think AJ would never not want the ball. I just think mistakes happen out there, man. I just think because of what happened last week, like I said, to kind of put a bow on it, like I said, Buffalo lost tonight. The only thing that confirmed today is that ain't nobody going 20-0 this year. That's about it.
Correct, man. Everybody get a turn, bro. Everybody get a turn.
I mean, listen, I don't think in the Hurt Sirianni era we were never going to lose another game again. Like, I mean, come on, bro. This ain't Madden. But, and like I said, that wasn't a terrible team we lost to. That wasn't a slouch of a team. That was a decent team. That'll be, at least, as long as they're healthy, they'll be in the playoff mix for sure.
Barley, I wouldn't. I don't. humbled is not the right word because it's not like we were braggadocious and we the best and we gonna be. They did not have that attitude. So I understand what you're saying. I just think humbled is the wrong adjective. You know what I'm saying? They ran out of luck because they did stupid. They left too much food on the table and it
Way
cost
too,
them.
way
It
too
cost
much.
them. So,
Way too
but I
much.
but I understand your point though. I understand your point.
You know,
Ringo had better coverage stats than Q. Yeah, that's
oof.
not saying much today. They was picking on Q, but it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I think
We'll be all right.
if I want to be optimistic, I'm gonna just blame this one on the football guys, man, for all them plays that happened and the penalties that were just so fluky. I'm like, yo, if we play that game 5 times, I don't think them plays is happening again. But hey, it happens. It is what it is. But good thing we got a short week and we be back on Thursday. So
I hate short weeks, man. That's a
did
lot
you?
of that's a lot of treatment that's got to happen in 3 days.
Oh, for real?
Oh my god! Because you got to remember, man. It like
I think Landon sits on Thursday.
yeah, you don't understand like the battering and it's a lot more complicated than just sitting in the ice tub these days.
Oh no, I'm already know. And they
So
got to go to MetLife, where a lot of people ain't really happy about that turf.
yeah, been through that. Listen, y'all know I played on the vet turf, bro.
How was that?
I know what some ugly turf is, bro.
Oh,
That was god awful, man.
and
That was god
Look,
awful.
did you
like
ever have to,
gravel.
did you ever have to change your footwear depending on the surface you played on, like the type of cleats you wore or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Like I remember, like the vet was horrible.
right.
That was just the vet was like I'll never forget my first game at the vet, preseason game. Played a lot, had a decent game. I get in the shower, and all of a sudden my body is just stinging. It felt like somebody scraped me up with a fork and then poured lemon juice all over me.
Ooh,
And what it was all of the rug burns that I had from that nasty turf. That turf was hard. It was not soft. This was before they had the padding underneath it. You got tackled at the vet and they still had them little black bees that would pop up in your face.
ooh.
Um,
Oh,
and
you
It's
was
they
on
would
like
that
just
playing on
carpet.
concrete.
yeah, there was a notorious because at the time that stadium, the Eagles and the Phillies played there. So when the Eagles played, they would cover up the dirt of the football field. They had these cutouts of turf, but there would be like an inch to an inch and a half gap, like a how you put something on the
It's like
floor.
a heel. So basically, it's like a heel.
Yeah, it doesn't sit flat. So if you remember, when not Michael Irvin, who was the guy that busted his kneecaps at the vet? Couple of guys went up and landed on that uneven part. We used to trip over that and walk through. The turf was horrible. And then like say we go to San Francisco. We playing at Candlestick Park. Now back then, Candlestick, again, football, baseball, same stadium, but Candlestick was a grass stadium, and then they had the famous, back then Candlestick they would play football in the dirt. They didn't change anything. So, to your question about changing shoes and cleats, you play at Candlestick, you had to have you ran with them 7 studs and them inch and a quarter 7 studs because they would have the grass higher. And, different stuff like that, man. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, you had to watch your footwear, or you'll end up like we did in 22 at the Super Bowl, sliding around everywhere.
Slipping and sliding around like it was a water park.
I still think that was a job.
Yeah, they cheated on that one though.
That was a job on us.
Yeah. I believe it.
Then my boy Hassan Reddick foul and the rest of that D line, but it's all good now. We got him back last year. But I'm from the dip out, Coach. But hey, I appreciate you letting me come on per usual. And
for sure, man. We're gonna land this plane. I got to work tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Go
all right,
Birds.
fellas. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Have a good week.
I'll be in the chat tomorrow when you
all right, I'll be on tomorrow. I got to put up on my socials. I got to put up just like a regular schedule,
Yeah.
just so I can get it out there. Because normally, late night, I'm going Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah, I like the late night, man. It
Friday is a
fit.
wild card. Friday is a wild card because I know Friday everybody out and about. So if something happens, or if something big happens, um, you know, I might do Fridays might end up being another basketball night for me because I know the WNBA is almost over.
Yeah.
So I ain't even watched the first two games of the finals.
Ooh.
I hope Las Vegas wins because I don't like Phoenix, and I'm an Indiana fan. So
Yeah.
if we gonna
Indiana
get
Yeah,
Fever.
beat,
Vegas up 2-0.
yeah, if I'm gonna get beat, I want to get beat by the best. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But I'm hyped because number one, my nephew is playing. He is in Mongolia, playing in the Mongolian basketball league. So
Oh, that's dope.
I'm gonna be checking that out. And then NCAA women's, man, I can't wait for that season to get started. So
Gotcha.
and then as soon as the finals are over, I'm gonna make an announcement that I'm officially moving all of my basketball content to my Pro Fan Hoops channel.
Gotcha.
So I got some things going, man. Got some busy. I just reached out to the NFLPA lady today, and she said she's gonna help me make some contacts. So I'm trying to get some other NFL alumni on the show. So we'll see how that goes.
Gotcha.
We'll
Well,
see how that goes.
I'm always supporting you.
I'm trying to get my boy Randall on, man. Trying to get my boy
Cunningham?
Randall. Yeah.
Oof.
That's gonna be my big get. I got to see if I can. Randall was my QB when I was played in '93.
Damn.
So
You only played that 1 year with him?
93, 94. 94 I ended up getting cut because Charlie Garner. We drafted Charlie Garner. So I got released, and then I went and then I played NFL Europe for 3 seasons. I was in Scotland. And then after that, I went to Canada, played the season, half season in Canada. And then after I got out of Canada, that was such a nasty experience. I was like, I shut it down. I was like, I ain't doing this no more.
Damn.
So had to walk away. But yeah, man.
Hey,
We'll
I'm
have some more
rocking with
stuff
you.
coming, man. Y'all have a good week. I'm gonna get out and try to get some sleep.
Got you.
All right,
I'll be in the chat, Coach. Go Birds. No
All
matter
right, man.
what.
Go Birds.
Indeed.
Check y'all out later.
Yeah.
And thank everybody in the chat. Tiffany, Angie M, Devin Holmes, Alex, as usual. Yeah, we did get beat by the best. Dankberg gang. Devin Holmes is trolling us right now, talking about cry Eagles cry. It's all good. Hey, when you win, talk your talk. That's what I say. Talk your talk. So it's all good. Good luck, Barley. Appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, man. You know I appreciate you. Tell your friends about me. Invite them to the chat. Let them know that they can come on and express their opinion. Long as they leave the toxic on the bench, we'll be all good, man. I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate you as usual. And I'll see you on the next one. Go Birds.